Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Stonkcast, the market show for the average Joe. I'm Brandon with my co-host here, Ethan. Whether you're a diamond-handed ape, being a degen, buying calls, puts, looking for 500% in a day, or maybe you're more of a, conservative swing trader, investor. In either case, we're here to provide the latest news in the markets and give our 2 cents. How you doing, Ethan?
I'm currently fighting with Starlink and trying to make sure my audio or my screen actually forms an image of who I am. Because right now I'm just a pixelated mess.
Yeah, you look like you're straight out of the, late 90s, early 2000s right now. But,
I'm that image that you're trying to catch late at night.
Yeah.
Trying to
No.
put the pixels together like a puzzle piece.
Trying to put together a little bit. That's all right. Well, hey, we're back with another great show. Thank you, as always, for supporting the show as we continue to grow. We are on YouTube. Like and subscribe would be much appreciated as we continue to grow. Also, however you're listening, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, I didn't even know we were on there. Whatever platform you choose to listen to, your shows, you can find us. So, so it's been, it's been an interesting week, for me, Ethan. I, spent the whole week on a work trip in Phoenix, and, it's been a long day of travel. I just got back a couple hours ago back here to South Florida. The mountain time to Eastern time switch is still messing with me. Pretty tired, but you know what? If Michael Wilcox, our senior correspondent, can bring us the latest news from his car in a Walmart parking lot, I think I can suck it up for a day and do a show. So that's kind of where I'm at. And the flight attendant on Delta was very nice. I purchased a vodka and club soda, and she gave me an extra shot.
Hey.
So very nice. Shout out to Catherine of Delta. And that's what I'm enjoying right now.
Catherine at Delta.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. What about you?
Well, I'm sorry for that noise. That is me fighting. I've had a wonderful week. It's been busy. It's been busy, but everything's going well. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So we got a jam-packed show. Been very excited for this all week. We're gonna cover a few different things. Ethan is gonna lead us off with a little Fed update, as I understand it, and we're gonna dig into some tariff news. There's been some recent news related to RFK and how that relates to weed stocks. So that's juicy stuff right there. And just an overall market update this past week. So, Ethan, you want to start us off? I heard you had some for the people.
I think I think something's coming through my fax machine right now. I think I got it right here. Oh my gosh!
Oh, man.
Goodness gracious! This is our field report from this week from our senior agent in the field out in Twin Cities, Michael Wilcox.
Wherever
He's
that
been
is.
living out of his van for the past couple of weeks. We have no clue where he's at. He could be down in Twin Cities. He could be up in Portland. He could be in Orlando. Nobody knows. Nobody truly knows.
Depends on the day.
He's a. It depends. He
does good work for us.
Yeah.
He does good
He's
work.
been following the Fed for weeks. He's been following what they've been talking about. Our senior agent, he just wrote in. I'm going to read out this wonderful field report. Mission overview: a prelude to chaos. The Federal Reserve just dropped their annual stress test scenarios. This happened yesterday. This is hot off the press news. The coded language is blaring like an air raid siren. And I apologize. This is Michael Wilcox calling in. I'm calling in from the field.
Oh,
This is a prelude to chaos. I,
it's Michael.
thank you, Miss. It's Michael. He's borrowing my conscience for a second here. Uh, Michael, is that you? Yes, it's me, Michael Wilcox. I'm in the field. I'm here. I just want to let you know. I'm going to let you read from I sent you, because it'll make the audience really confused if you keep changing your voice. But I just want to say I support everything you do. Michael, Michael.
Oh, Michael.
Jerome got him again.
Get a shower,
boy.
buddy.
Get a shower, buddy. Jerome probably found him parked in the parking lot of a Sheetz or something, which out there, it's probably a Wawa. Yeah. But listen, they released this press release. It's the usual exercise, ensuring the banks can lend even in a severe recession. That's what they said. But let's not kid ourselves. These scenarios aren't just academic thought experiments. They're the battle plans for what Powell and Co. see lurking on the horizon. The 2025 test introduced two exploratory analysis elements, conveniently hypothetical, yet suspiciously specific. Credit and liquidity shocks in non-bank financial institutions, those are hedge funds, the failure of 5 large hedge funds amid global economic distress. This isn't about routine risk assessment. This is crisis wargaming. Let's decode the players. We got Jerome Powell, the architect. He's the grand designer of controlled destruction. He doesn't signal, he scripts. The stress test, Operation Black Swan, a guided demolition exercise to see where the weakest banks crack under pressure. And then we've got our non-bank financial institutions, the shadow system. A veiled reference to private credit firms, hedge funds, and ballooning debt ecosystem the Fed can't directly control. And then we've got our 5 hedge funds, which are the dominoes. They just aren't telling us who they are yet, but I know that they've got a name for each of those dominoes. Surveillance notes what the Fed just told us without saying it. 10% unemployment test. This isn't a casual number. That's recession territory, and they're modeling mass layoffs at a rate not seen since 2009. If you've been following the CPI index, I think saying CPI index is like saying ATM machine. But if you've been following sort of the inflation metrics in recession, you notice, and you've probably heard people say, that they're casually taking out metrics that are day-to-day expenditures in order to keep those numbers artificially low so as not to startle the public. But the reality is that we are more than likely in a recession already and have been. So if they're preparing the banks for this, they expect the labor markets to break hard. Commercial real estate wipeout, he says. That's Michael Wilcox. A 30% crash in commercial real estate prices is structural collapse. Office vacancies are still at all-time highs, despite the fact that we have work-from-home mandates crashing all over the nation, and we've got CEOs that are pulling our people back into the office because the offices need to be used, or else the real estate industry collapses. Our cities know that. Our city leaders know that. The Fed is effectively admitting that landlords with variable rate debt are walking into a buzzsaw. Banks with heavy exposure to CRE, which is, like regional banks like your First Citizens Bank and whatnot, might be in serious trouble. Hedge fund failure and market shock. If 5 hedge funds are failing, They're assuming liquidity is drying up fast. Which sectors? The private equity, leveraged loans, the dirty money that keeps markets inflated over the past 5 years. This suggests market margin calls, derivative implosions, and counterparty contagion. Oh, those are great words. Corporate bond spreads widening. Translation, junk debt is going to get repriced, and it's going to get repriced hard. The Fed is signaling that weak
Mm.
corporations will struggle to roll over their debt at survivable rates. Man. So, what just happened? Bank stocks, you need to expect volatility. Regional banks with heavy CRE exposure are on notice. If you can short your local bank, go ahead and start shorting it. Bond, and also pull out your money. Bond markets. If spreads widen in reality, the free money era is over. Real estate, we've got a 33% drop in home prices. If this becomes self-fulfilling, the housing market is going to freeze. Hedge fund and private credit panics. If the Fed's hypothetical scenarios cause institutions to hedge against it, we can see force unwinding ahead. What are the operative actions? So, what should you do? What should me and Brandon do? Short regional banks with heavy CRE exposure. They're about to experience a capital crunch. So look at those leveraged to urban office spaces. If they're leveraged in urban office spaces, they're probably going to get crunched. Watch the credit markets for spikes in default risk. High yield bonds are going to tell you where the real pain is hitting first, and then prepare for a wave of layoffs in late 2025 as these big corporate entities need to free up a little bit of cash to take some pressure off. They're going to start getting rid of their expenditures, which are people. So the unemployment rate spike in the test suggests the Fed sees real job losses incoming, so time your market entries accordingly. So the blind masses, they're not going to see it coming, Michael says. The real takeaway from this stress test isn't about results, it's about the narrative shift it sets in motion. They're seeding expectations for market turmoil, knowing full well what happens when the masses start pricing it in. The playbook is clear. A liquidity squeeze is coming. It won't be overnight, but cracks will widen through 2025. This is a warning shot. Heed it. Stay sharp. Stay ahead. This has been Michael Wilcox signing off.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Michael.
Yeah, take that in.
He's going to need a break after that one.
Michael.
That was a lot. Basically, what I got from that
report.
is I need to short my bank and pull my money
And
out.
you know, I've seen that. I've seen that on the Super Stonk
good.
subreddit.
That's good. All right.
You know,
so,
I've seen this week how
what do you take away from Michael's report there,
essentially
Ethan? Things.
Ken Griffin's hedge fund has been, I think, selling off bonds to pay off. I assume it was to pay off individuals within his institution, or maybe it's to pay off the funds that he manages. And a lot of the comments were saying that people are thinking that these big hedge funds and market makers are going to use Trump and his what do you call it? His presidency as a fall guy, and they're just going to blame his presidency on these massive institutional blow-ups that are going to happen. And so, hey, Michael's got it. He's got it. He let us know ahead of time. So that's your Fed update for the week. And it was a big one. Mark your calendars.
Mark them. Wow. Well, thank you, Michael. We appreciate the work you do for us in the Twin Cities. It can't be easy. Can't be easy. But someone's got to do it. Someone's got to get it, because I'm not in the Twin Cities. So
yeah,
we definitely appreciate that. Yeah, so we had some tariff updates. So as you recall, on Sunday, Sunday was the last time we shot. We talked about, the impact of tariffs The markets did not like it. They did not like it initially. And it's always nice when you're right. Sometimes you're wrong in predicting, price action, what the market's going to do. But hey, every now and then you're right. And we kind of touched on how, we thought that, you know, initially there would be an overreaction to the tariff news, but as far as I'm concerned, we're still in a bullish market. We talked about the possibility of a Monday sell off and then a climb the rest of the week. And hey, so far, that's exactly what's happened. We had a Monday sell off, and the markets, climbed right back up ever since then. And part of that might be due to some of the recent updates with the tariff news in particular. Basically, what happened, uh, days after Trump announced a 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico, President Trump agreed to delay them for 1 month after the leaders of Canada and Mexico announced moves to ramp up security at their borders. So as of now, they're averting tariffs that, could drive up prices for U.S. consumers and, stalled the country's economies, right? So that's kind of where we're at. As far as I know, Ethan, I don't know if you have any more info on this than me. As far as the tariff on China, that proceeded as scheduled. But at least for Canada and Mexico, it seems like we're delayed a month out. And so, it sounds like Trump pulled his card and Canada and Mexico, they ponied up. And the markets were somewhat happy with that, even if it's a delay for now. I mean, I think at this point, Ethan, things change daily. So yeah, it's postponed for a month, but that could be 2 months, that could be 3 months. There's no guarantee it's going to go into effect after a month. Is my point.
Yeah.
So at least for the bull camp, that we'll take it. That's decent news for now. And so it's definitely helped the market. Taking a look at SPY, where we're at right now in after hour trading, right at 606.65, which is very impressive considering, early Monday morning we had dipped down to 589. So there was a gap on the chart. And that's one of those things too that, a lot of people like to trade off of. Meaning when there's a gap in the chart, right? So Monday we had a big dip down, and you have this gap in the chart from where the Friday high was, and a lot of times the market will close that gap, right? There's prices in between there that need to be explored, and thankfully that's what we got. So right now we're basically sitting where we were Friday before the tariff news. We're still 4 points off of an all-time high. So it looks like it was a dip opportunity. What do you think?
Yeah, I think let's look at what actually happened. So the tariffs were signed on imports from Mexico, Canada, and China. So he actually did it. Number one, and that's a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and 10% on energy products, while Mexico faces 25% tariffs, and that's for goods. Um, and then imports from China are just facing a 10% tariff. Um, but, I mean,
Okay.
10% tariff for the volume that China does is pretty significant. Now, how do you price that in? I don't know.
That's
As far, you look at energy, and um, I know that liquid petroleum is a big hot topic for the U.S. And so I think that you should probably look at U.S. based liquid petroleum plants, manufacturers, distributors, and you should probably pick up a couple long dated calls on them. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's not where my head goes at first, but that's the beauty of the market, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can express your ideas to be profitable. So yeah, that's definitely an angle to take on it for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I'll be curious to see. Today's Thursday, right? Fridays, I feel like Fridays generally are, unless there's some crazy news, they're kind of what am I trying to say? There's not a lot of volume on Fridays, so I'm not expecting a new all-time high tomorrow. But over the next week, it seems like the trend is continuing. So it's definitely an opportunity. It's an opportunity, and it's just such an interesting beginning to the year, as we've talked about numerous times. There's news dropping pretty much every day. So yeah, is there a chance that we get something that comes across the wire that is bearish that no one was expecting? Sure. But hey, that's why you have stop losses, right? That's why you use good risk management. But I think that, right now things are still bullish. They're still bullish. And as far as the recession talk, that Michael so graciously gave us, I think that we could be getting there. But again, until the charts say otherwise, it's up, 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 So I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
That's just an opportunity to consolidate, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We could just chop, sideways for a little bit until the market gets more news. I could see that happening as well. But definitely something to pay attention to. The tariff news, as always, it's the hot thing right now. It's what markets are most sensitive to, and markets change what they give attention to. I remember a time when CPI data, right, the inflation data, was huge. It was huge. Every time that would come out, at 8:30 in the morning, the market would just explode either up or down. Everybody was paying attention to it. They were sensitive to those inflation reports, like a year ago, and then it changed. And right now it's the tariffs. That's really the thing that the markets are being sensitive to. So definitely something we need to keep an eye on. So
yeah. I just pasted a massive list of energy companies in the chat, and
beautiful.
If you're listening or watching and you can see this chat, just take like 3 to 5, just random of those energy companies, and do a little paper trading with them, and do some long dated options, and see what happens. I think do a little bit of research on it.
Oh wow, you weren't kidding.
And see where. Yeah, it is massive.
That is an extensive list.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Thank you for that.
I have no clue what goes on in the energy sector. And so I assume that there's probably a ton of nuance. Like, I don't know what a downstream company is, or an integrated company, which is upstream and downstream. I assume that just has something to do with whether or not they manufacture and distribute. I don't know. But yeah,
I don't.
Just pick out
to be honest, I don't track with the energy.
Yeah, past 5 quarters, and then see what the next 3 to 4 look like with this. Yeah,
that could be good. That could be good.
Okay, that's tariff updates.
All right, what do we got next here? If you are
stressed out because of the tariff updates, why don't you tell us about wheat stocks and RFK? Get stuff.
Yeah, let's relax a little bit, huh? Let's do that. Yeah, so the big news over the past couple days as it relates to the marijuana industry is basically RFK coming into his position, and how that's going to impact that sector in particular. So he is very outspoken about being pro pot basically, and basically with him coming on board, that could be a turning point for the marijuana sector. So it's definitely an industry that you want to keep an eye on as RFK gets that Senate approval. Cannabis stocks, are probably going to climb just on, speculation, right? Of RFK being in this position. And so I think that could be a really interesting thing to keep on your watch list over the next, couple months. As far as some of the bigger, stocks that are in that sector, I think a lot of people are familiar with Tilray. They're currently just a hair under, 1 billion in market cap, based out of Canada. But you have Innovative Industrial, that's the big one. The market cap for that is 2.09 billion here in the U.S. And then you have Green Thumb Industries at 1.67 billion. So these are some of the larger players in the sector that could, benefit from RFK, right? Getting the Senate approval and just kind of seeing where things could go. I have heard that, while he is, pro marijuana, and that's good, of course, for marijuana stocks, things are a bit sluggish as far as getting it moved from a Schedule 1. There's been pushback from the DEA, surprise, surprise. And so, in all reality, is this something that is going to happen overnight? No, of course not. But this could be a very nice speculation trade moving forward, really for the whole year. I would look at it that way. What I would recommend doing is, look up the top 10, weed stocks, and just have them on a watch list, right? Just pay attention to how they're moving, because we could have some nice trends developing there. If RFK is able to pull some strings with, getting that schedule changed on it. What do you predict, Ethan, if anything, I guess, for, this industry? It's a juicy topic. It's something that's, I feel like even before this year, really the past couple of years, right? We've had these spikes for certain marijuana stocks based off speculation that we'll get legalization. It obviously hasn't happened yet. But what do you make of it?
It comes and goes. I think had I held the Tilray that I purchased like 4 years ago, I don't know if I'd be in the same spot that I am now, or if there would have been.
What'd you get it at? Do you remember what price?
Let's get on. I can get on Robinhood Live right now. Let's see what we see. Robinhood has all of like degenerate trades.
Yeah. No, that's a good spot for it. I like to use Webull for my more like, hey, I'm going to be a responsible trader. But Robinhood is for those like, hey, I have an itch and I have a gambling instinct and I just want to see if the 0 DTE option will go up today. It's the DGen account.
Man, this is taking me into a really bad spot. Let's see, because I bought Plug. I bought Tesla when it was trading at $495, and I had a recurring buy for that. Oh shoot, I'm looking for Tilray here.
we're digging up some dark past for Ethan right now, folks.
Yeah, because I had this Tesla recurring buy for a while. Why did I sell it for only $75? Clove, I had a couple dollars in Clove. I guess I didn't have Tilray. I,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
I never
I've
purchased.
messed around with it here and there. Nothing recently, probably a couple years ago, but yeah. Anyways, the weed industry is it's always a speculation trade, at least in this season that we're in over the past couple years. Just given the fact that it has that Schedule One, that's the real killer there. Obviously, a lot of states have moved to use it for medical purposes, and so there's money to be made there. But I think the thing that's really going to get it over the hump is that schedule change, and if anyone's going to do it, at least right now, um, it seems like RFK would be the guy. So will it happen? I don't know. But again, keep an eye on it because you could have some nice investments going there. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, what else we got? Yeah, we talked about the overall market SPY. That was a dip opportunity. Um, you want to give us a
What's
crypto
happening with
update,
the
Ethan? You've
Fubo?
been paying attention.
I'd like to apologize to both Brandon and anyone else that's watching for just how janky my internet's being.
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties today. It's kind of on par for just my
Yeah.
overall day of travel. It just kind of goes hand in hand. We'll get it figured out, folks. We'll get it figured out.
The good news is that live is an adventure, but whenever we post this to our YouTube, it'll be a polished gem that shouldn't be as frustrating to watch.
That's beautiful. We
Yeah.
love technology.
Uh, do you want me to move into the crypto and altcoin update for this week?
Go for it.
Okay. Bitcoin is currently trading at $97,576. That's up 20.24% today. I was about to say 25% today. With an intraday high of $99,000 and a low of 95. Ethereum, that's priced at $2.7 thousand. It's down 3% today. Not too many notable ups and downs. XRP was mentioned by, let's find his name here, CryptoPunk1. XRP was mentioned in the chat, but there's a notable movement with XRP at $2.36. So it's down 2.48% today. Solana is at $194. And then Dogecoin is at 25 cents. So it's at a quarter, down 2.3%. So everything's kind of down 2% today, which is, it's kind of not too crazy. I mean, the way that crypto and altcoins can bump around 2% is nothing. Regulatory developments, altcoin
Nothing.
ETFs following. Yeah, nothing. Following President Trump's re-election, asset managers have filed applications with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to create exchange-traded funds for altcoins like Solana, XRP, and even Dogecoin. The SEC currently only allows ETFs that invest directly in Bitcoin and Ether. Banking and crypto, the Trump administration is expected to ease up on regulations, enabling banks to offer services like crypto asset custody and tokenized deposits without pre-approval. Major banks such as Bank of America, J.P. Morgan Chase, and Goldman Sachs are already making Goldman Sachs are already making moves towards incorporating blockchain and crypto related services. So, for those of you who have been in the crypto world for years, just like waiting for these developments, it seems like we've got a fresh wind for you. If you think about folks like Pro the Doge, I just watched, I think it's called This Is Not Financial Advice, documentary on YouTube. Um, that was kind of his like calling card was like, I'm never going to sell Dogecoin because it is going to be the future for use as a actual currency. Grayscale's Dogecoin Trust. Grayscale Investments has launched a new investment fund focused on Dogecoin, aiming to leverage the rising interest in altcoins beyond Bitcoin. I got to make sure that this machine to my left, it's been mining Dogecoin for a long time. I need to make sure I've got my bags ready. MicroStrategy's rebranding. MicroStrategy, now rebranded as just Strategy. They got to get rid of the micro part. They might have been a little insecure about that. Reported significant Q4 losses and paused its heavy Bitcoin purchasing despite previous aggressive buying. So that's interesting. And then regulatory changes. They reassigned, SEC reassigned its top litigator, Jorge Tenreiro, who led cases against major crypto exchanges, which is signaling a potential shift towards a more crypto friendly regulatory environment. That's cool. And then Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin's market dominance has risen to 60.4%, its highest level since the 2021 bull market, indicating a consolidation of capital into Bitcoin. That was bull horns, not
Like
devil
it.
horns. So we got
I
some
like it.
cool stuff happening in the crypto world. It's actually a very cool environment to be in now. So that's cool. That's very fun.
That was fun. That was fun. Crypto's a ton of fun. I gotta stop messing around with Fartcoin and some of these.
Bart
They're
Bart
just too fun.
Shkreli
They're too
loves
fun.
Fartcoin. I don't
Anytime
know
you
what's up.
can get 20,000% in a day, I mean, who
Yeah.
doesn't want that? Okay. And then I think lastly, just wanted to touch on Amazon. So Amazon reported earnings, and they were not great. Outlook is weaker than expected. Their sales fell a bit short. The outlook, underwhelms as tech giant forecasts lumpy cloud growth in years ahead. That's from MarketWatch. So in after hours, they reported earnings, and it went from 240 down to 221. Oof, that's rough. And looks like in after hours we're sitting at 229 right now. Here's an interesting thing though. Amazon says they're going to pour nearly 100 billion into AI in 2025, surpassing Microsoft and Alphabet. So they're doubling down on the AI side. We'll see where that leads, but their sales were not great. So from a Magnificent Seven standpoint, not the best, not the best. So what do you make of that? I mean, we talked about the Magnificent Seven before. It's never good when you see certain stocks in that category, underperforming. So, yeah, I don't know if you take anything away from that or what you think, but pouring $100 billion, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. So I don't know. We'll see what they can put together there, I guess. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been a solid. It's been a solid stock, right? Um, Overall, I mean, the past year it's gone up with the market, so we'll keep tabs on that. We'll see what it's looking like heading into the new week, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Tomorrow, I think we talked about it earlier on the last episode. I think we talked about it on Sunday. What do we got tomorrow? I feel like I said there was something coming out tomorrow. Let's take a look here. Friday, what's the big one? Oh, yeah. U.S. employment report comes out tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Projected 169,000. So we'll see how that comes in. We're also going to get the unemployment rate. He's back. He's back. Yeah, thank God Michael's employed, man, because man, I don't know if he'd have that car if it wasn't for us. Um, I think he does. We're not there yet, Michael. We're getting there, buddy. Let's try to make you feel better. Yeah. So U.S. hourly wages at 8:30 a.m. too. That's about it. Oh yeah. How could I forget? Consumer sentiment comes out at 10 a.m. 71.3 is the projection there. Looks like the previous was 71.1. So keep tabs on that. Got some news at 8:30 before the bell goes ding, and then consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. We'll see if we can close strong to end the week. It would be a mighty rally given the way it started on Monday, so I would love to see that. I am still in my best buy position, and I'm getting down to the wire here. I got a week left on it, so I either got to roll out or cut out here. We'll see what tomorrow looks like. Keep you posted on that. Ethan, you got anything else? All right. Well, as always, thank you for being with us on this lovely Thursday evening. We do have we're gonna do a show on Saturday. Usually we do Thursday, Sunday, but we have the Super Bowl on Sunday, so it's gonna be a tough one there. So we're gonna do a Saturday night episode. So pay attention to that. We'll keep you updated on that, and probably will be around the same time. Other than that, that's about it. And just remember, plan the trade and trade the plan. Have a good night, everyone.